Everybody, welcome to the first episode of Gary Davidson Plays. I know this has been a long time coming. I haven't made a video on this channel ever. I said I wanted to do stuff kind of regarding games that I like and do reviews of games, but I also want to do just general topics about games that I played as a kid or games that I played now. Recently, I picked up Black Ops 2, Call of Duty Black Ops 2 on the PC. I never had the game before. Well, actually, that's not true. I had it for Christmas one year for a few months, and then I got rid of it because overall I wasn't a fan of the game. I didn't like the multiplayer as much as I had liked previous entries or even later entries. Believe it or not, I actually prefer Advanced Warfare over Black Ops 2. Is that weird? Yes, I feel like people are going to shit on me for saying that. It's I found Advanced Warfare to be a little bit more interesting in terms of multiplayer. But that's just me. I'm weird. I have weird tastes. I also prefer Ghosts over Black Ops 2 because I just like the setting of Ghosts better. It was much more dark and gritty, and that's my kind of thing. But Black Ops Zombies has always been the best zombies. I did play the little bit of zombies that was on the base game for Advanced Warfare, but you had to go through all the survival maps or whatever it was. Don't remember what they called it in that game. Did play it a little bit, but Black Ops Zombies and World at War Zombies and so on and so forth. Zombies is really great in Call of Duty. But I wanted to talk particularly about what Zombies is for me, what it was for my childhood, what role it played, and I want to talk about each game that I have played and each map that I've played, or some of the maps that I've played, and what they mean to me. So I want to start this up by saying the footage you are watching is likely Town for Black Ops 2, and then probably going to move over to Nuketown at some point. Now you guys are going to see me die, usually because of lag. I am running Black Ops 2 on an actual potato, but it actually runs okay because the settings are all super fucking low, so it can actually run alright. I don't mind it. So that's kind of why the footage looks like shit, but hey man, as long as you're having fun, you know what I mean? Anyway, so I want to start off with Black Ops 1. This was where, like many other people, I had actually gotten into the Call of Duty Zombies kind of craze. There was a lot of hype around Black Ops 1 when it came out. There was a lot of hype around Zombies in particular when it came out because it was the next evolution after Derise. Where were they going to take the Zombies series after Derise? Because Derise, my bad, was such an evolution of the Zombies formula. It was the first map to have some Easter eggs, the first map to, other maps had Easter eggs, but the first map to kind of have a really in-depth Easter egg story and kind of added a lot to the story. We know how Hellhounds were created. We now have a Pack-a-Punch. We have some new special weapons. We have the Ray Gun, the Thunder Gun, and now we have the Wunderwaffe. Really, really good map. So Black Ops 1, the first map you get is Kino Dratoten. And it was a very simple map. It is a map I've put tons and tons of hours into. The highest I've gotten on Kino, which this is probably embarrassing to a lot of people. People would be embarrassed to admit this, but it's 32. That's the highest I've ever gotten on Kino. I've played it recently. I recently bought Black Ops 1 for the PS3 again, just to kind of relive memories with my brother. We've been playing a lot of the old maps. The next map you got, which was you could do either by doing the cheat code in the computer or you could complete the campaign and you would get 5. Now, as a kid, I barely touched 5, and I really mean barely. It was barely a part of my vocabulary. I could go 1, 2, 3, 4, Kino Dratoten, 7. I just skip over 5 and 6 because 5 was just a difficult map as a kid. It was something I could never really master. And then recently, when I bought Black Ops 1 again, I played 5, and I realized that you could train pretty fucking well on the second floor, and that got me up to about round 18, which, hey, I mean, that's not the best, but 5 is also a really hard map, so I'm gonna give myself props for that. That was pretty fucking difficult. I was also playing it with my brother, so that also added some challenge to it, because 5 by itself still sucks, but it's not as bad. You know, I had Pack-a-Punch unlocked. I figured everything out. I unlocked the full map, and at that point it was just surviving. We had the Easter egg song. We had found it. I knew what it was. But it was a shitty Eminem song, which I'm just like, really, why couldn't they do metal like the other maps? The metal was so cool. Anyway, so moving on, the next map I played was Ascension. Now, this was the other DLC pack that I had gotten. I only had 2 of the DLC packs for Black Ops 1. I never played Call of the Dead. I've never played Shangri-La. I just never got them. It was the 2 maps that didn't really appeal to me or my brother, so we ended up getting the last map, which gave us all the Zombies maps, and Moon, and then we ended up getting the first one because Ascension looked pretty dope. Now, Ascension was a map that I haven't put a whole bunch of time in. I've never even completed the actual Easter egg for it. I just know that with a Thunder Gun and like PhD Flopper or any Pack-a-Punch weapon, really, you could rape train in several different spots. It's not hard to do. Ascension was kind of Ascension and Kino were the maps that like training was born in. I guess Derise you could kind of train a little bit, but not nearly as much. I keep calling it Derise. It's Derise, my bad. I apologize for that. And then we move on to Moon. Moon was a map that I played, and I never, ever, ever got past like round fucking 8 on this map because it's so fucking complicated and difficult for me to figure out. I've never had a chance to do it. I've never had a chance to complete the Easter egg, although I have watched several videos on how to do it and just to watch the ending. It was the biggest moment in the COD history, and I never played the World at War maps on World at War. I've only played them on Black Ops 1, and Black Ops 1 does not have the best selection of guns in the mystery box, but it does have the RPK, it does have the HK-21, and those are both really good guns. LMGs are fantastic. I like the AUG zombies. I would use that a lot in Derise because once you Pack-a-Punch it, you get the shotgun, and the shotgun underbarrel attachment is fucking phenomenal. Now, I did a lot of playing on Derise. That was probably the map that I've played the most as a kid, and even now as an adult. I did a lot of that with my brother. And overall, the World War II maps, the World at War maps, I should say, are terrifying compared to modern day zombies maps. They are downright scary, downright gray, and kind of dull and creepy, and I like that. That's a big appeal for me in terms of zombies, and that'll get into why later zombies maps didn't live up to expectations for me. Moving on, I didn't have Black Ops 2 until about 2016 or so I actually got to play Black Ops 3 before Black Ops 2. But for the sake of simplicity, I'm going to talk in kind of chronological order about how they came out. I didn't like Transit. I, like many other people, did not like Transit. The only thing I liked about Transit was building shit and then finding Noctadar and Toten. That was the only thing I enjoyed about Transit. I did not care for the story, did not care for the fucking map itself, not a good layout. There were no guns in town. The biggest and the only place you could really train was in town, and there's no guns, so if you run out of ammo, you're fucked. And the mystery box always started at the diner, which I guess wasn't terrible, but like, fuck, dude. Why at the diner? Why can't you throw it at the town? It would be so much better if it was at town. It would be a lot better because you could actually survive. And let's go into Town, actually. Town is a good map. It is the only one of the 4 base maps that I actually enjoyed. Farm, nope, did not like Farm. I remember playing Farm on Black Ops 2 as a kid over my friend's house, and I did not like Farm. It was such a small map, and I was just like, how are we supposed to go anywhere? There's nothing to open. There's like 2 doors, and that's it. It's not as bad as Bus Depot, which is literally just 1 fucking door, and that's it. And then you can get up to like round 18, and then you die because there's nowhere you can fucking go. It's pretty stupid. Anyway, Town is my favorite of the based ones, including Transit. It's better than Transit, I do believe. It's just a fun time. You have your main perks. You can pick up 4 of them. I typically do. I do Quick Revive, Jug, Speed Cola, and Stamina Up, just because I like to be able to run fast. And then I Pack-a-Punch as soon as possible. I like the footage you're watching of Town. If you are watching it at this current time, I have like nothing but pistols, and it's fucking retarded. I kept going back to the box, and it just kept giving me pistols until finally it gave me the ray gun. I don't know if you'll get to watch that footage, but then let's move on to Nuketown as I take a good old drink. You know what? This is a good time to switch the footage. Future me, if you actually listen back to this audio, you should switch the footage to Nuketown right about now. Nuketown Zombies. This is a map I didn't play until I actually picked up the game on PC. I bought the game on PC and I was like, you know what, I'll cash out a few extra bucks to buy Nuketown. And it was a good decision. It was a very good choice. I'm happy I did it. Nuketown is pretty fun. It's a simple map, but it's really fun. I enjoy it. My first go at it, I got to about round 12, and that's not terrible for not knowing the map. You know, I'm not knowing anything about it, just kind of going at it. But in the footage you're about to see, I died at like round, 5 or 7 because of lag. The game occasionally just drops frames, but this map is pretty fun. I really like that it happens at the same time as Moon, so you can kind of hear the Moon Easter egg happening, and if you get past round 24 and you get to 25, all the zombies' eyes turn blue. That's pretty cool. I really do enjoy that. It is a very, very neat part of the map. That's probably the only really neat thing about the map. That and the songs on the map that you can play are pretty good too. But other than that, it's just a basic bare bones survival. I like that the map is small. It's cool. It's a neat little DLC thing to add. I did not mind it at all. Moving on, I didn't play any other Black Ops 2 maps. I know people are gonna shit on me for this, but I didn't really like the aesthetic of any of them except for Mob of the Dead. I don't even care for Origins, like the aesthetic wise. It was cool as a World War I map until they put giant ass robots in there, and I was like, why? This doesn't make fucking sense. You just completely stripped me of any sort of realism. This doesn't feel like Earth with a zombie apocalypse. This feels like stupid shit now. It's like, well, god damn it, you fuckers ruined it. And that was really a trend for Black Ops 2 for me. It kind of felt like shit was going away from this dark and gritty story and was moving more into fantasy elements and things that I didn't care about too much. I did like the original story of the Ultimus crew and how they had to go to the moon and blow up Earth. That was a really cool part of the story. I enjoyed that a lot. It was maybe my favorite part of the story. But, you know, when we get into Black Ops 2, I felt like the maps were polarizing for a lot of people. People didn't seem to like them, at least the base maps. I didn't care for Die Rise at all. It looked boring to me. It was a shitty aesthetic. I don't care. It's skyscraper, woo. And then, you know, when the map comes out, it's like all I hear is terrible things about it. So it's like, all right, not getting that one, not my thing. Mob of the Dead looked pretty cool. And then the Buried and then Origins didn't really appeal to me. Buried just looked pretty easy, if anything, and I don't mind easy maps. They're fun, you know, but it just didn't interest me. And the whole story of the Victus story didn't really appeal to me that much. It just, whatever, you're helping Maxis or Richtofen, it doesn't really matter to me. I don't really care. I like the original story of just going to the moon and then like Richtofen gaining all the power over the zombies. I thought that was badass. I really did. I thought that was such a cool way to end that story off, but then they just kind of kept going with it and it wasn't as cool anymore, and then Origins happened. So moving on to Black Ops 3, I did not buy any DLC for this game. I didn't play the Giant because I didn't pre-order the game. So I just had Shadows of Evil and then Dead Ops Arcade 2. Dead Ops Arcade 2 was pretty fun. It was just Dead Ops Arcade again. But Shadows of Evil, at first, I hated this map. Absolutely hated it. I thought it was a really, really, really terrible map. I thought it was shitty. I thought it was just boring and too complex. You know, I didn't like that it was overly complex. But then I started looking up tutorials on how to get shit done. And then once you could set up and get it going, you know, once you realized you could get like all the parts open, you can basically get to the Pack-a-Punch room by round 5. That was when shit got fun, because it's like, oh, I can actually do this. This is actually possible for me. I'm a casual zombies player. I'm not very good at it, but I do have fun with it. I like maps where I can just train and go and build myself up and keep building and building and building and building. I enjoy that. I don't care for the big complex Easter eggs, the big boss fights. I don't care for that as much. But this is the last zombies map I ever played. I did not buy another Call of Duty game after Black Ops 3. So I've never even touched Infinite Warfare zombies, I've never touched World War II zombies, and I never touched Black Ops 4 zombies. And I honestly don't think I will. I have heard very mixed things about all the Black Ops 4 maps, and the more I watch footage of them, the less it appeals to me. The only thing I would ever do is reopen Black Ops 3, because I still have a copy of it, and then maybe I would download Zombies Chronicles, just to have 8 old maps remastered, you know, having Kino back and the original, other than Derice, having all those back would be pretty cool. Now, I want to give my opinions on the different maps for each game, okay, that I've played. I haven't played World of War, but Black Ops 1, fantastic, absolutely loved it. Every single map that I played. It is also the game in which I have played most of the maps. And then Black Ops 2, it didn't appeal to me as much. It was still fun for the maps that I did play, 2 of them at least, Town and Nuketown. Those were pretty good. They weren't nearly as in-depth as, say, even Keynote or Toten, but, I mean, I'm not gonna bitch. It's whatever. It's a simple, fun map. If you and your casual friends want to play those maps, you can. It's not hard to understand. And then Black Ops 3, I liked. I liked the story of it. I never downloaded any of the DLC maps, but if I ever did, I probably would have enjoyed them very much. I liked the story of Black Ops 3. I thought it was really interesting. I liked the overall aesthetic of what is it, Der Eisendrache, and then Zetsubo no Shina was Shima? Is it Shima? I don't know. It was a pretty cool aesthetic. I didn't like that map as much as the other ones, but it was interesting at least. Revelations I heard was shit, so I'm probably never gonna bother with that one. But Zombies Chronicles would be a cool one for me to look into. So I liked Black Ops 3. What I did play out of it, which was Shadows of Evil on PS4, was really fun. It was really enjoyable. I had a good time with it. But Zombies for me was kind of a turning point in my life. I was in 5th grade when, I would have been in 4th grade when Black Ops 1 came out, but I didn't get it until I was about 5th grade. So 2011 is when I got Black Ops 1. I was already behind. Modern Warfare 3 was the big new game back then. But it was still the big Zombies game at the time because holy fuck, dude. You know, Moon, I think, was coming out at the end, toward the end of 2011, so that was pretty interesting. Anyway, so it was a turning point in my life. My parents had recently gotten divorced. Zombies meant a lot to me. It was a way for me to mature, a way for me to bond with my friends and my siblings. I don't think my sister ever played Zombies once, so really one of my siblings being my older brother. It was a good time. I never saw Zombies as a way to tell amazing stories. I didn't care that much for the lore of it. I did like it, obviously, as you can tell I like some of it, but for the most part, it was more about the fun of just getting to play Zombies with my brother and getting to have a good time with him, because it was one of the few things at the time that me and my brother could really bond on with Zombies. It was just good fun. I used to have old friends that would play it with me, and it was always good fun to have split screen, you know, every time you would die, we would switch out who would play. It was pretty fun. I enjoyed it. So if you've never played the old Black Ops 1 versions of the World at War maps, that is something I definitely recommend. And if you've never even played the World at War at all, which I played it once in my life, I never played Zombies on it, but I did play it one time. I think it was at a friend's house. I can't remember which friend. For the life of me, I cannot remember. But it was a decent overall game. Zombies is a way for a community to come together and just have fun. You know, if you like it for the story aspect, there's plenty of story for you to uncover. If you like the Easter eggs, there's plenty of interesting things to do. On the later maps, at least. I feel like a lot of the older Call of Duty players will enjoy the older maps because they are just simplistic and they're fun. It's usually dark and scary. It's a nitty-gritty kind of atmosphere. That's what I like about it. That's what I enjoy out of Zombies. But to each his own. You can do whatever you like. You can enjoy whatever you like. What I would like to see in the comments of this video is, what is your top 3 Zombies maps in Call of Duty of all time? What are your top 3 maps? What do you enjoy the most out of Call of Duty Zombies? Let me know in the comment section below. The next video I'm going to be doing is going to be on Terraria. It is one of my favorite games of all time, so I figured I would just make a video on that one. And then we're probably going to go into some other type of stuff. I'm thinking Mario could be after that. But I want to do this as a weekly series every Sunday. I want to have these up and posted. This one's going to be a bit of a bitch because I got to edit it and record it all on Sunday. It's kind of hectic right now, but thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys can enjoy the next uploads that are coming. Thank you very much.